Welcome to the Chamber Corner. We're so glad you have come to be with us today. We're in beautiful, sunny, as you can see, Granville, Tennessee, and we're going to be showing you a little bit about the town and what's going on here in Granville. And Janie, I'm excited about this one.
I know, I am too. I love Granville. I love Smith County, but Granville's just a neat place to visit. There's so much, and today, as I first got here, I noticed how much more there is that they've added. Every time I come, something new has been added here. So it's a great place to come and visit.
It sure is. And some of you may say, well, why is the Smith County Chamber of Commerce in Granville, Tennessee? Well, let me explain that to you. Granville, Tennessee, the county line is just on the other side of the Granville Marina. And Granville has a history that's tied into Smith County that goes back. In fact, my family ancestry comes from Granville, Tennessee. My dad was raised on Funds Branch. So we've got a lot of history around here. Granville also is a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and one thing that we have discovered is that our destinies are tied together, and what's good for Granville is good for Smith County, and vice versa. And so we really want to support these folks over here, and they've done such a wonderful job with this town and what they've done, and we want you to see a little bit of that. And so that's why we're here. But first, we've got a guest coming in, and Janie, I have got to go over to Sutton's store. I just really need to be over there real quick. So,
I
Barbara,
bet it's because they have ice cream, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, today, while Billy's over there shopping and probably eating ice cream, come on over this way, Miss Barbara. I want to tell you a little bit about our next guest, Barbara Knappel, who is one of our county commissioners, and she is also on a lot of committees in Smith County, and we're really glad to have you, Miss Barbara.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I feel like I'm a little bit playing hooky from work because it's so beautiful here.
I know it is, and the humidity's low. Now, the sun's warm today, but anyway, I'm a little bit hot. Are you?
Just a little warm.
But it's beautiful. We're in the gazebo here in Granville, right in front of the old Antique Car Museum. We thought this would be a great place to do our interviews today. And speaking of interviews, you have a role to play in, I know we've talked about this on our show before, the Keep Smith County Beautiful group.
Right, we're on that committee together. I'm the chairman.
You are the chairman. And Barbara, we have something exciting coming up with our Keep Smith County Beautiful committee. We're going to be involved in what?
We are going to be involved in National Public Lands Day on September 21st. And there'll be a lot going on in the community, just some cleanups and some beautification. We'll have a lot of different groups going out, probably meet at the courthouse on Saturday the 21st at 9 a.m. And then specifically Keep Smith County Beautiful is going to be doing some work on some landscaped areas in the community, just cleaning them up and making them beautiful for fall. And also in anticipation of some other upcoming events, we're going to do some work on our trash receptacles. So.
You know, this is the National Public Lands Day is in September every year, and it's a great opportunity to go out and clean up the trash and pick up and mow and weed eat and that kind of thing along your roadsides. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she weed eats 3 days a week up and down her road. Even though it's not her property, she wants her road to look good. And that's really the way we should all look at our communities, isn't it?
I heard someone say the other day, we want to keep Smith County beautiful so that we want people not to go through, but come to Smith County.
And spend money.
And spend money.
That's the key. Tell our audience a little bit about our mission statement. We started the Keep Smith County Beautiful Committee back about 5 years ago, and it was a group of concerned citizens and also the Chamber of Commerce. It was at one time a part of the 3-Star program. And we came up with a vision statement, a mission statement, and we also created a 5-year plan, which we've pretty
much finished that 5-year plan.
We really have.
Great things.
Tell them what our mission statement is.
Our mission statement is engaging individuals to take greater responsibility for improving their community environments.
And that really goes along with the National Public Lands Day cleanup, doesn't it?
Working together and also educating our students about the importance of a litter-free community.
True. If we can teach our young people to appreciate their environment and to be responsible adults when it comes to littering and picking up litter and keeping the area nice and neat, that can be the future for Smith County and for a better economy, really, because as you said, people will not go through, but stay and spend their money. Okay, tell them about our vision statement. What is our vision?
Okay, our vision is the vision of the Keep Smith County Beautiful Committee is for Smith County to be environmentally safe as well as aesthetically pleasing to residents and visitors alike. And as I heard someone say just as we came up, that means we want it to be purty.
Yes, we do. Just as Granville is so pretty today.
Oh, it's
I was just
beautiful
looking
here.
how all the streets are, the yards are mowed and everything
yeah.
looks so nice, and that really does attract people. It really does. We want to encourage all of our folks who are listening to be involved in the Keep Smith County Beautiful program. It's open to anybody that wants to be on it.
It's a community action committee, and we do have a meeting coming up in October 18th, and it'll be at 8:30 at the Chamber of Commerce. So,
and we invite you to come. They're about an hour meeting.
Oh yeah.
And we're not asking you to get out and pick up trash. That's something that we, as we get older, we're not quite able to do like we used to. But we have a lot of youth that we bring in, and I see that Billy has got an ice cream cone. He's going to have to share that with us when he comes in. Look at him. That is, oh my goodness.
You can really get ice cream here in Granville?
Yes, but we're going to talk about that later. Okay, now, so if you want to be in on the Public Lands Day, National Public Lands Day, again, we're going to be working on the trash receptacles around Carthage. They need to be stained. They've been around for what, 4 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they're looking a little bad. So we just need to make sure they're taken care of.
Right, and my group is going to be working out towards the interstate around the landscaped area there because we want it to look really good when people come visit. So if you'd like to be a part of this, meet where, Barbara?
At the courthouse, 9 a.m., Saturday, September 21st.
Okay, so be there or be square, and we hope you'll come.
I think,
Seriously.
Janie, lunch is going to be provided also at noon. We'll work till noon. And
we provide gloves and everything. So
just
please
show
come
up.
out and help us out, and give us a call. Barbara, they can contact you, right?
Yes, my number is 489-5900, or Taylor in the mayor's office at the Turner Building.
And that number is 9244, I think.
735-2294.
2294. Well, I got my numbers mixed up, but anyway.
Close enough.
All right. Billy.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Janie, can you handle the rest of the interviews? My ice cream cone is melting, and
I guess I can. Okay. I tell you.
Just go ahead and enjoy yourself, Bill.
All right. Barbara is also a part of a fairly new coalition. Tell us about this new coalition.
Okay, we are, I'm here representing Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition, and we do have some, even though we're fairly new, we have some celebrations that I wanted to talk about today, as well as some concerns for the community. The Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition is now 1 year old. We've completed 1 year as a developing prevention coalition. We have over 100 members now in the past year. We have built some good working relationships with a lot of community partners like law enforcement, the school system, the county and city governments, healthcare community, all those that are affected by substance abuse. We have a 3-year plan in place with specific objectives covering 12 community sectors, and our targets are to reduce underage alcohol and tobacco abuse as well as overall prescription drug abuse in the community. We feel like that's going to affect our community in a positive way, reducing unemployment, reducing crime, healthcare costs. So we're just putting together a community coalition of people that are passionate about seeing that substance abuse change.
You know, we see and hear about so many young people who get on drugs or alcohol, especially the Hollywood scene, and lives end very young because of this. And
we are seeing a lot more overdose than ever
really
before.
do. Now, I heard a statistics at 43%. What was that all about? Tell us about that.
Yes, actually, I was going to tell you about that. That's one of our concerns. We recently, the Department of Agriculture gave us a report for 2012 where some compliance checks had been done in Smith County to see if retailers are selling tobacco to underage. And actually, we had a 43% non-compliance rate. So out of
Wow.
13 businesses that were checked, 10 of them failed.
Almost half.
Yeah, and also we had a large number. We did a survey of students last year, and a large number of students, let me see if I can find that, 29.7% of students that were surveyed stated they knew of places in Smith County that would sell tobacco to someone that was underage. So we know we have some problems here, and we want to, somebody that starts smoking or using tobacco products at a very young age usually is a lifelong smoker. And it's addiction that's very hard to break.
Leads to disease.
A lot, yes.
A lot of
Shortened
a lot of
life.
problems.
They say it takes 7 years off your life.
Yes.
So-
Well, you also have one time a year when you take up outdated drugs. Is that right?
We do. We do something, actually we're doing that now twice a year. We have something called a drug take-back where we meet at the Chamber of Commerce, the law enforcement partner with us there, and folks can just come empty out their medicine cabinets. That's really what we're encouraging folks to do. Don't keep those unused, unwanted medicines around where they could cause an accidental overdose or some kind of abuse in the community. We want to reduce access specifically. And even better than those drug take-back days, law enforcement has installed permanent drop boxes in the community. So at the Sheriff Department or at the Carthage Police Department, they can clean out their medicine cabinet, drop off any of those medicines, kind of like putting them in, it almost looks like a mailbox. So it's very convenient. They can go 24/7. So that's one of our celebrations. We're very thankful for law enforcement and how they partner with us to reduce.
That is such a blessing, and it's such a blessing for our youth in Smith County. Anything else you'd like to share with us about the alcohol problem or anything?
Let me go ahead and just say a few of our concerns there. In our survey, 29.3% of youth surveyed said they knew also of retail stores that would sell to minors, alcohol to minors. However, we have some good news in that department. We did have 4 retailers of alcoholic beverages recently underwent and passed their compliance check. So all 4 retailers in Gordonsville that were checked did pass, and we actually gave them certificates from the coalition appreciating their responsible beverage service. So,
well, very good.
Yeah, we want to celebrate those that are keeping the law and supporting
Positive reinforcement.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'd like to finish with some announcements, if I
Sure,
could, for the coalition. We do have upcoming parent information workshop on Monday, September 9th at the Timberloft Restaurant at 6 o'clock p.m., and that's free to parents and grandparents. Youth Coalition members are going to be making a presentation there just talking about the importance of parents in talking to their youth about and their teens about underage substance abuse. And then we, just like Keep Smith County Beautiful, we invite the community to be a part. And we have monthly meetings the second Wednesday of every month, and that'll be Wednesday, September 11th at 8:30 at the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, so that's a week from today.
It is a week from today.
A week from today at
Yes.
the Chamber of Commerce. At what time?
At 8:30 a.m.
8:30 in the morning. Okay, so keep that in mind, and if you too are concerned about these issues, I know you would be welcome to be a part of this coalition and addressing this
absolutely.
very, very important problem.
Absolutely, yes. We can only be successful if we work together as a community on this problem.
And we all need to be concerned about this. It's not just the parents, it's
Right.
all of us.
It affects every family in some
does.
way.
It sure does. Anything else, Barbara, you want to share with us today? Or
Just if anybody has questions or need more information, my phone number is 588-1622. We do have a web page for the Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition, or find us on Facebook.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much.
Well, I guess I'll head to the ice cream shop next.
Boy, I tell you, everybody's going to get ice cream but me today. I hope it's still open when we're through with the interviewing. Billy, get back over here. He is still eating ice cream. Now, see, Billy, if that had been me, that would have been like done. You got some right here.
Excuse me.
I would have been done with that a long time ago.
Well,
So,
it was so big. I don't know if you noticed how big it was.
well, yes, you have made a dent in it, I'll have to say.
Oh, well, I was thinking I was, okay.
You have made
You
a big
think I
dent.
can eat the ice cream pretty good?
You go ahead and eat, just don't crunch too loudly. We have got a wonderful guest that I'm going to bring over here in just a second. And I actually work with this next guest in this group, and that is the Jamie Evitts Scholarship Benefit that we have every year. It's coming up really soon.
Okay, well,
And we want to interview Joey, the brother of Jamie Evitts, and talk to everyone about it and let everyone know. We've changed our date. We've added a bunch of stuff. So.
oh man, that sounds exciting.
Yes. Joey, would you like to come on over and we're
Well,
going to.
I'll tell you what I'll do. We're in beautiful sunny Granville, and the lake is right over there, and I'm going to take my ice cream, and I'm going to go see what the lake's like, okay?
Okay, Joey, would
So,
you like
Joey,
to take over? Don't let him drip ice cream on you, though.
Okay, be careful.
Yes. Don't fall in the lake there, Billy. Hey, Joey, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you, Janie?
I am doing great. Joey Evitts is here to help me, and we're going to talk about the Jamie Evitts benefit.
Yes.
It's changed this year. It's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
date's changed. Tell them all about that.
This year, this will be the 11th annual. It's going to be held on October the 12th, 2013 at the Smith County Ag Center. Kids events and registration will start at 10 o'clock, and then the auction will start that afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Yes, and I'm telling you, I always think it can't get any better.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, but this year.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a lot of the same events we always have. We have some good gospel groups and bluegrass groups. What do you have?
We
those?
do. Yes, actually, I've got a list of those. This year, starting at 10:30. At 11 o'clock, we've got the Community Kids Choir that will be performing, the Mid-State Quartet, Misty Morning, that's a new group
Yes,
for
ma'am.
us,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
of course, Cumberland Bluegrass. They've been with us in the past.
Yes, ma'am.
So we've got wonderful singing that's going to be going on, but that's not all.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right. At 10 o'clock, we'll have a petting zoo and pony rides. We'll have bouncer inflatables for the kids.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Yes, ma'am. We'll have
Face painting?
Face painting. We're going to have a cornhole tournament and a horseshoe tournament. They'll start at 11:30.
Yes.
We're also this year, one of the new events we're going to have that we're excited about is the dunking booth.
Yes. Yes, did you hear that? We said dunking booth. Now, this is going to take place in October on the 12th.
Exactly.
That's 3 weeks earlier than normal, which is probably a good thing.
It is. Last year, it was cold.
Yes,
it was.
it was.
Cold,
We were wearing
so
sweatshirts.
We were. So this year, maybe it'll be a little warmer. We have a few people lined up for the booth. Who
Yes.
do we have, Janie?
Well, it's my understanding that we have Mayor Michael Nesbitt. So if any of you just love Mayor Nesbitt and you want to show that love,
That's right.
you can actually purchase, I think it's going to be like 5 balls for $3
Something like
or something.
that. Yes, ma'am.
And there's going to be 4 different folks from 11 to 1 in 30-minute increments that will be sitting on the dunking booth stand.
Yes.
And you will have a shot to throw one of the balls and knock them in. I think, and I'm going to try to work on this so I don't
Right.
have to do this, but I think I'm on the schedule.
I think
so
you are.
There may be a few people that might want to see me get wet.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Trent Jones is a tentative person, and we've got a few more, maybe some coaches. We've had several people turn us down, and I don't understand why. But we've got several people that we're talking to, but please come out and be a part of the dunking booth. We also have Games of Chance this year. We thought that was a better name for it than the original name of Adult Games. That didn't sound so good.
There you go.
Tell them what we're going to be doing with the Games of Chance.
Well, now this is another new event, and I don't know if everything's finalized yet, but I think Olympics, Barnyard Olympics or something like that.
Yeah.
There's going to be softball throw, football throw. Do you know what else they've got lined up there?
The only thing for sure that we know of right now is we're going to have a big tire, and women and men both will have a chance to throw a football through a tire. And I actually won doing that at our church benefit.
Wow.
And yeah, I couldn't believe I got it in there either. But anyway, and then we also have a softball throw. So we've got a lot of fun things
Yes.
for people who just like to get out and be active and
Yes.
and do something different.
Yeah.
We may have wagon rides. All this is still in the making right now. You know,
Yes.
it's early September.
Yes.
But we hope to have that. And I'd like to share with you something that we're doing this year that we've done before, but there's a little twist to it this year.
Okay.
We're having the chili cook-off.
That's exactly right.
This has been really popular in the past. We did have an entry fee. We don't have that anymore.
Okay.
And that's a good thing. But guess what we do have,
What's
Joey?
that?
we have money prizes this year. Not just ribbons.
That's great.
We have money prizes. A $50 first place prize.
That's great.
$25 second place prize, and $10 third place prize. So now, and by the way, Bull Warren has already said he's coming with his famous chili.
I think he's won twice, 2 years in a row. Is that correct?
He did win 2 years in a row, but now the last 2 years he hasn't won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and see, this is our 11th annual event. We've been doing the chili cook-off for 5 years,
I believe
maybe.
that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
So he is coming, but the thing is win money. Bring your chili recipe. One year, white chicken chili won.
I believe it. And then after that's over, everyone gets a chance to buy a bowl of the chili.
Yes, we actually sell the
Yes.
chili on the premises. We have chili dogs. We have chili pies.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
I believe that's correct.
And walking tacos or whatever they call them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be selling this year barbecue.
Yes, we're going to have barbecue sandwiches from Wright Brothers Barbecue right here in Smith County, and all homemade. So that
Yep.
should be really good.
It really should. And one of the highlights of last year was we have homemade desserts. We don't buy
That's
the
right.
desserts, folks. The FCE clubs around the county
Mm-hmm.
bring in homemade cakes and pies, and they actually, we slice it. You'll see them in all these pretty cake stands and pie stands, and you can choose the dessert you want. We slice you off a generous portion,
ma'am.
and that'll be a part of the lunch. So it'll be an outstanding lunch. Come out, if nothing else, and have lunch with us, but we really want you to be it. Oh, guess what else we've got going?
What's that?
A scarecrow contest this year.
This is a new event that it was. I believe this was your idea. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I was trying to think, where did I
Yep.
hear of it? I think it's because Granville's going to do
Well,
it real soon.
it looks like a lot of fun, and I've seen civic groups participate in this before. Tell us a little bit about what you've got in mind here, Janie.
What we're going to do, actually, is we have 2 different age divisions, so 2 different contests. We've got a youth up to age 17, and we've got adult 18 and over. And there will be first, second, and third place winning prizes in each category. And let me find a sheet here that describes it. Did I share that with you?
Yes, I've got it right here.
Okay. Actually, what we're going to do is we'll start the registration for this at 10 o'clock, just like the chili cook-off. And the contest, just like the chili cook-off, will be judged at 10:30 on Saturday morning, October 12th. These will be judged on creativity, originality, design, color, and durability. And each person that enters will be responsible for setting up their entry. In fact, they have to be freestanding or sitting based on how you want them to be displayed. If it's something that sits on a bench, then you've got to provide a way for them to sit down. And it must be an original design. It can't be something you've bought, and it must be in good taste. We don't want anything
Sure.
sexual or profane, no profanity, because this is a family affair.
Exactly.
And adult entries must be life size, but the youth entries don't have to be life size.
Okay.
Let's see. We also reserve the right to use photographs for the future, for our future
Exactly.
events, and we won't be responsible for any that are damaged in some way when you bring them in or take them out.
Exactly.
But you know what? I'm hoping some people will donate these for our auction.
I think it would be a good auction item, and if you wanted to donate, I think it would be a way to raise a little money for the scholarship, and also see your scarecrow go to someone's home for a decoration.
Yeah, you can drive by and say, "Hey, there's my scarecrow."
That's right.
Okay, we don't know all of our prizes yet, or all of the auction items yet, but you know of a few of them, right?
we always have one thing about this is it's obviously for a great cause, and the money goes right back into the community. But this is actually also a really good auction.
Yes,
a lot
it
of
is.
very nice items. Some items go for more than they're valued. Some items do not. But there's typical stuff. There's usually tires, clothing, tools, lots of livestock products. Some of the bigger items this year, there's 2 commercial heifers that are donated that you'll have the chance to view before the sale that day. They'll be set up in a pen outside, and then they'll be auctioned. They're usually auctioned right at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Dennis over at the radio station has already rounded up a guitar and had it autographed by Billy Dean. So that's a pretty unique item there that I hope someone's interested in. We usually have lots of cakes and pies and hams and
things they can freeze, and they usually come in a really nice cake stand.
Yes.
So which would make a great gift idea, or something you can freeze for the holidays.
Exactly.
I like Taylor Swift. I hear we've got some things from her.
Yes, it looks like we've got some autographed, maybe some shirts, a CD, and that kind of things from Taylor Swift. So I don't know a lot about this. Maybe you can explain a little bit about this, about the depression glass.
Yes, your mom went to an antique store, I think around Chattanooga or somewhere, and she bought a set of pink depression glass dishes that she is donating, and I love depression glass, and the pink is really beautiful. So that will be there. We have also got some of those really neat tobacco prints. Share with them a little bit about that.
These are really hard to find anymore because a lot of them, were damaged, water damaged, or when the warehouses closed, were thrown away. But a few of these have been rounded up and donated and framed, and they are extremely, extremely nice pieces.
And rare.
And very rare, yeah, very rare. Used to not be, but they're very rare now. Any of the nicer items we have and even the smaller items we have are eventually going to be on our Facebook page. So if you can find us on Facebook and like us on Facebook at the 2013 Jamie Evetts Scholarship Benefit, you can see items. We're going to start putting pictures of items on pretty much every day.
I think starting around the 16th of September,
I believe so.
We will have most of the items on Facebook, and we're going to have flyers available. If you would like one of the Jamie Evetts Scholarship Benefit flyers, you can call the Extension office. Jamie was one of our 4-H'ers and real active, and so we help out with this benefit. Our number is 735-2900, and we would be happy to send you a flyer. You can stop by the office and just pick one up because we'll have some printed for that.
And we'll actually have it in a PDF form on the Facebook page eventually where you could just print it off at home.
Oh, that would be great. Now, tell us a little bit about why this was started. I know it was about your brother.
It was. He was killed in a car accident in 2002 and in 2003. Some people in the community, and it was initially started by the Cattlemen's Association, started this auction and just started a scholarship in his name. And the first year, there was one scholarship given, I believe. Is that correct? Didn't we decide that today? One scholarship given for $500 to Amanda Driver, a Smith County 4-H'er, who's now a teacher. And since then, we've given away 43 scholarships for over $48,000.
Yes.
So
it's been a wonderful thing. And by the way, we don't just choose youth from one school.
No, they give away.
They all go into a pot, and they're
both schools.
It's based on 4-H involvement, FFA involvement, and need. And what are some of the other things?
Well, there's a committee that looks at applications, and they just look for a well-rounded individual. Someone involved in their community, and
grade point average is also important as well. We want to be able to provide something extra for those kids who have really tried hard in school. And if you have a high school student that you think might qualify for this, or if you have a child that has received this scholarship, we ask them to come back and help us with this every year.
Absolutely. And if you have anything you would like to donate, or if you if you want to stop by and help out, we've got plenty of things. We'll auction any item.
We sure will. I mean, if we had one FCE club, well, 2 or 3 FCE clubs got together and did a beautiful handmade quilt.
It did.
Absolutely gorgeous, and we auctioned it off. I mean, anything you'd like to donate, if you have a store, if you've got an antique that you would like to donate, we could certainly use your help.
And we will come pick it up. Just get in touch with Janie or get in touch with us on our Facebook page, and we'll drive to you and pick up your item if you would like to donate.
Joey, thank you so much. We sure do appreciate all that you and your family do for all the folks here over in Smith County.
Yes.
We're in Jackson County right now.
That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. I wonder if Billy has finished his. Have you finished your ice cream cone?
Yes, thank you, Joey.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I went back down to the lake and I finished my ice cream. And
well, that's good.
they have a dock down there.
Do they?
Yeah, and
I've been pretty busy. I haven't had time to go look at the dock.
Well,
Yeah, I've been doing some interviews here.
I guess you've been working. Okay.
We're doing a taping today.
Oh, I had heard that. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got some other things that we're going to go look at. I believe we're going to go over to the Sutton store and talk to Mr. Randall Clemens.
Oh, well, yeah.
And
Let's do
guess
that.
what's over there? The ice cream.
I know. Why don't you interview him, and then I'll pick up on the interview a little bit later. I may go try out some ice cream myself.
Okay. Janie, are you ready to do the interview?
Actually, I'm enjoying my time with Albert here. This is one of the neat little scarecrows. I shouldn't say little because he's a full-size, almost like a man. But this is Smith and Albert here, and we're right in front of the Granville store, and we're about to have a big scarecrow contest. But anyway, let's let Randall Clemens tell us about it.
All right. Well, we're glad to have Mr. Clemens here with us. We are at the TB Sutton General Store right here on Main Street in Granville, and it's a pretty exciting place. I got some really good ice cream out of there. And Mr. Clemens, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this all got started, and then maybe some of the stuff that's coming up?
Well, we're at a very historic place. This store was built in 1880 by the Cooper family. They operated until 1925 when Mr. Ben Sutton purchased it for $2,500 from the Bank of Granville. Mr. Sutton operated the store from 1925 until 1971. He was very successful with the store. There was not anything that he did not sell. He was truly a Walmart of his day. He even sold caskets here. He was the first John Deere dealer in this part of Middle Tennessee. This was, of course, during the time of our steamboat days. He was a big shipper as well as receiver here through the store. He had a toy department. He was known for fixing things. He had a fix-it shop upstairs. He had a barber shop here. He had an insurance office here. So, I mean, it was truly a one-stop shop, and this was one of 5 general stores that was right here in the heart of Granville. The store remained closed for some 30 years when Harold and Beverly Sutton of Mount Juliet discovered the store in 2000. They purchased it. They spent a year restoring it, which was a major endeavor. But everything about this store is original. It has all the original contents. A lot of the items for sale was still in the store at that time. And so they put it back to its original condition. They would operate it on weekends and some special occasions. But they realized in 2007 that they could never make it the tourist attraction that they had hoped. So they gave it to the Granville Museum with 2 provisions, that we would operate it as a general store and that we would do Saturday night bluegrass with dinner, because they had experienced some bluegrass here and had been very successful. Of course, Uncle Jimmy Thompson from the Enigma community right in the edge of Smith County here was the first person to appear on the Grand Ole Opry, a great known fiddle player. And we have the Uncle Jimmy Thompson Bluegrass Festival here in May. So he had invited some bluegrass bands in, and they had experienced that the acoustics of this store was much like the old Ryman Auditorium. So that's what started the music factor here. So we opened on April the 5th of 2008. We are a nonprofit 501c3 that operate the store with some 150 volunteers. We do Saturday night bluegrass with dinner at 5 and 6:30, a live bluegrass show that is aired on radio from Nashville to Crossville, from Sparta to the middle of Kentucky. We're on the internet each week, and we also go out to our military all over the world each week, much like going to the Grand Ole Opry. So if you've not been, we would encourage you to call 931-653-4151 for reservations for this very unique thing. But with that being said, we are pictured here today on the front of the store with a very unique event that is fixing to happen here on October the 5th that will be all the month of October, called a Scarecrow Festival Walk. We came up with this ideal from a Scarecrow Festival that we found in California. We had a lady that moved to Granville that's opened the Granville Emporium here by the name of Cynthia Matthews, and she had seen this done in her hometown, but we have done it much different. And as of right now, we find that we're the only one in the United States to take this approach with it, in that we have done historical characters. We will have 100 scarecrows that will be on display here in all of the historic buildings all the way up and down the streets. And pictured here is 2 of our men that was known for whittling here on the front porch of Sutton General Store. So as you go in different buildings, there will be different historical characters. They're very real looking. I kind of get a little scared sometimes as they're beginning to put some of them out in some of the buildings. I went in the house the other night over here at the Sutton Homestead and kind of got scared because there was a woman at the kitchen washing dishes, and I thought she was a real person. So that person that Janie was leaning on, he does look real, Janie. So I can see why that you got confused there a minute ago. But this will be a unique event that will be month-long. It will be kicking off with our fall celebration, which is on October the 5th. This will be our 15th year to do it. It began with a quilt festival, which continues today, that covers Smith, Jackson, Putnam, Wilson, and Overton counties where we take quilt entries. We will have over 100 quilts in the historic Granville United Methodist Church that will be on display that day in competition. So it's a wonderful event. We will also have ladies quilting outside on antique quilt frames. And we also have a new feature here called our quilt benches that will be beside the Methodist Church that day that are church benches that have had unique quilt patterns put on each bench. There's a dozen of those, and we have the history of each quilt pattern. So if you love quilts, it's a great day to come to Granville for that. Other events that we'll tell you about that day, we have Jazz on the Cumberland. This will be our 9th year to do it. It is at the Granville Veterans Park. We will have jazz bands from all over Middle Tennessee. Our big one that we will have featured is the 129th Tennessee National Guard Army Jazz Band. Music will start that day at 11:30 and it will go to 5 that afternoon. A beautiful setting with the band on a stage right on the banks of the Cumberland River. And so it's a great time if you like jazz music. Also from the Granville Veterans Park that day will be Cruising the Cumberland. And this will begin, Bill, right across from your office on Friday, October the 4th, where we will have a cruise that day that will come from Carthage to Granville through the lock. And then we will have two afternoon cruises here that afternoon. And then Saturday all day, we will have cruises that will be going out every hour. And then on Sunday, we will be going from Granville back to Carthage, back through the lock. And so if you're interested in that, you can make those reservations by calling 615-451-4001. These are narrated cruises that tells the history of the river, the history of Granville, the history of the Cordell Hull Dam and Lock. So it'll cover Smith County history and Granville history as you take that river cruise.
I did that a few years back. I know they did that once before, and I really enjoyed that. It's
a great experience. This is a little bit different. When we started it, Smith County and us worked together along with Wilson County, and we were able at that time to get the boat from Opryland to come up, but due to cost now, that's no longer available. So we have a large pontoon boat that seats 25 at a time that actually does this, and so it works out real well.
Well, that's wonderful. I know there's a lot going on here at Granville, and you guys have done such a wonderful job. One thing I'd like to say, I really appreciate the support that you give to Smith County and the things that we do down there, and that's why, in turn, we want to support you here at Granville. I walked around this town and looked at everything that's going on, and you can tell that it's a labor of love, that everybody here is really into what's going on here, and you can tell that it's something that they are taking pride in, and it's so clean. And one thing I can attest to, some of the best ice cream I've had in a long time.
Well, the unique thing about Granville is that we're a mile from the Smith County line. We're a mile from the Putnam County line. When I was raised here, we were the last house in Smith County. So I always went to school in Smith County. My parents had businesses in Carthage. And so, I mean, it's a real mixture. You know, there's as many Smith County people here as there is Jackson or Putnam County. So,
well, I know you I don't know if you still have them, but you had a picture of their, my dad was in this is my family here, and here, let me.
We're going to be featuring sorghum here on October the 5th, and this is a picture of Bill's family, the Woodard family, from out in the Enigma community, just about 1.5 miles from here. Making sorghum back in 1933. We have the Mennonites coming on October the 5th with their mules, and they will be set up to make sorghum that day. We're going to have a special exhibit of the Woodard family making sorghum that we'll be making into a permanent exhibit that's going to be a much larger picture and all as we focus on the ones here in the Granville community that have made sorghum in years past. So we're excited about that. We're going to be doing a lot of primitive crafts on that day. We have the grist mill that'll be making grits and cornmeal that day. We'll have a basket weaver. We have a loom that'll be running our loom here. We have a blacksmith and several blacksmiths that will be here. We have a chair bottoman, somebody making soap. We have some people from Smith County that's going to be making apple cider. We have wood carvers. We have let's see here, broom makers, and on the list goes. We're going to have a large Civil War encampment here that day that will be set up like it would have been during the Civil War. They actually have a general store, they have a hospital, they have a funeral home, a little bit of everything, and it is very unique. And so they will be demonstrating how life was during the Civil War. That day, we will be having an exhibit coming to us called Free at Last that will be at the Granville Museum for the months of October and November. So we'll be dedicating that exhibit that day. We have a Civil War band that's going to be performing here that day as well. Colonel Sidney Stanton was from here, up the road about a mile. He was killed in the Battle of Atlanta. He was a well-known colonel, and 10 years after the Civil War, there was 5,000 soldiers came to Granville in honor of him. So that's how well that he was thought of. So this band has been formed called the Colonel Stanton's Band that will be performing, and we have some people that will be acting out part of his life as well. Granville is also known for the World War II maneuvers, and we will have a World War II group here that will be reenacting the World War II maneuvers, some of the mock battles that they had here, and so they will be set up here as well that day. So a lot of different things going on in Granville on that particular day.
Yeah, it's a happening place to be. One thing I'd like to mention too is if you're living in Smith County, you may have ancestry that you want to come back here and look in the museum. There's a lot of pictures and stuff about the families and people that were right here in the area.
There is. We have a museum that focuses on all aspects of life of our past, and it's been in existence since 1999, so it's a very well-developed museum.
The one thing I noticed too, passing up the street, there's two things I wanted to mention. Dr. Freeman, there's a bronze plaque there honoring Dr. Freeman, and Dr. Freeman was around here. He was one of those doctors that lived in the community where he worked, and he would do house calls, and I know my family, I remember them talking about Dr. Freeman, so that's some stories I've got there. One thing that's interesting, when I came over to get my ice cream here at the store from the gazebo, I got stopped in the street. There was a couple in a car, and their name, I believe, was Grissom.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that his wife, she's 97 years old, and she used to live here in Granville, and she knew my family, as a matter of fact. So it's interesting, some of the people you run into here, too.
They were Mr. Sutton's niece and nephew. That couple was, and she lives in Gainesboro, he lives in Smyrna, so they had come back. We hadn't touched on the Sutton homestead, but we would like to touch on that. It's across the street here from the Sutton store. It is the home of Mr. Sutton. It is a historic home that was built in 1880 that the museum now operates. We do guided tours through it Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 3. It has a different focus each quarter. Right now we have sweet tea and front porches. We will be going to the 1st of October, Scarecrows of Our Past, and then the 1st of November, we will be going to a Victorian Christmas. The homestead also includes the gristmill shop, a blacksmith shop, a weaving shop. It includes a 1820 Granville log home here that we've set up the whole homestead, and so you get to tour that. We have a garden spot there that Stan Webster, that many of you know from Smith County, he's actually responsible for it. He's just cut the tobacco crop, and he'll be putting out a turnip green patch next Wednesday. We also have the kids that come and put out the gardens. We have an antique car museum, so just a lot there to do. A lot of good businesses here in Granville, gift shops and whatever. So we're open Wednesday through Saturday, so please come out and visit with us during those times.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming down and being with, or us being with you and allowing us to be.
We're honored to have you.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess we're going to go back over to the gazebo, and we got to find Janie. I think she went down to the lake or something looking around. I'm not sure.
Wow, what a wonderful day this has been, and what great guests we've had.
Oh, it has been. This town is beautiful, and it's just right next to us. I think a lot of people would be really pleased if they come over here and see this.
You know, Joey, that was with Jamie Evans' benefit, he shared with me he had never been down here before.
Oh, a lot of people are like that.
I encourage you to come on down to Granville, but you know what? We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. Let's talk about that.
Well, I've got a list here. Let me just kind of look at it, and I'll go through it a little bit. First thing we've got, September the 9th, It's not actually September
Actually,
the 9th.
it's September the 14th.
is the Kids Central celebration. I guess this printed out wrong. September the 14th, Kids Central celebration, and I know you know a lot about that.
Yeah, that's going to be, we talked about that in the August program, I think, but that will be held at the soccer field down by the playground area. Free lunch, bring your family. It's from 10 until 2, and we're going to have all kinds of booths set up. So we're giving away a lot of free stuff, so families can come. It's just going to be a fun day.
September the 14th, also Upper Cumberland's 75th annual meeting of the members. And that takes place, I believe, at their office there in Carthage, and that's one of the things that's going on. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was William Walton Days, and forgive me for turning my head here. I've got a flyer, and
Boy, that's going to be a neat event.
I don't know if it's on paper here, but this is going to be a neat event, and it's William Walton Days, and what we're doing is we're depicting 1760 to 1816 is what we're doing.
Wow.
William Walton was the founder, basically, of Carthage. He gave, he didn't give, he sold for $1 the property that the city of Carthage existed on at that time. And he was very instrumental in doing that. He was a captain in the Revolutionary Army, and he was basically the founder of the area. He blazed the trail from Carthage to Roane County, which is where Clinch Valley is at, and that was where Cumberland Gap, and the settlers were able to come down that road. And I don't know if he was an ancestor of Mr. Walton that formed Walmart. Sam Walton. But he put way stations every day's journey apart on this trail. And that was so people could get provisions, because if you think about it, it would have been tough to travel at night with all the bears and buffalo and bobcats and other things that were wild during that time. So it was a pretty big feat what he did. And, of course, he settled in Smith County, and we're going to have a grave dedication. Him and his wife, their graves are located down below the Walmart.
How appropriate.
How appropriate, in the parking lot area just below that, and it overlooks the river. And that's where we're going to have our dedication for that. And then, of course, our celebration starts up on the courthouse square. And
there's going to be some good eating, I heard.
Well, we're going to have several food vendors there, and everybody that's a food vendor there is going to be a nonprofit, like a church or someone like that that's raising money. So if you go and buy some food there, you're going to be helping a cause, and there's going to be some good food there. I know the Gordonsville cheerleaders and the Smith County cheerleaders are going to be there. We've also got an essay contest. The kids in the school are writing about William Walton and the history that's going on, and there's going to be a award given out for that. And then we're going to have music. Right now, Muddy Water Bluegrass and Mr. Jason Sanders are the two that I can remember that are going to be there. Then we're going to have Captain William Walton will be there. Depicted.
He has come back from the grave.
Well, so to speak. Mr. B.J. Rich is going to, he is, does a wonderful job of depicting Captain Walton. And then we're going to have some other folks reenacting some of the settlers. We had 20 Revolutionary War soldiers that were like captains and really instrumental in the Revolutionary War that settled in and lived in Smith County. Smith County is named for Captain Daniel Smith. So we've got a lot of rich history. Some folks ask me, well, what in the world did Smith County have to do with the Revolutionary War? Well, actually, a lot.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, a lot of the history, and George Washington being the president and the Congress, they gave Mr. Walton the rights to build this road. So anyway, this is one of the things that's going on, and it's the 28th, and this is the first annual, so that means we're going to do it again. The other good part about the eating is at 5 o'clock, the county officials, the FCE, and Lord, I have forgotten somebody now.
The Living Committee.
Living Committee, and maybe I'll remember who else, but they are going to give a free dinner for you. And if you haven't got one of the tickets, ask one of your county officials for one of the tickets. And this event that's going on is sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust, Citizens Bank, Smith County Bank, and the Smith County Chamber of Commerce. And we just hope you will make it a day and come down on the 28th and be with us there.
It will be like eating back in the 1800s or something like that, like beans and stuff.
Beans, roast pork, a hasty cobbler. It's going to be a fair that would be fit for somebody back then. And a lot of people are going to be dressed in costume. In fact, if you want to break out your 1790s clothing that you have in the closet, you know, that you haven't worn for a while, it'd be appropriate to wear it that day.
Yeah, there you go. You've been thinking, what can I wear this to? Well, now we know, don't we?
Yeah. And believe it or not, I have some 1790s clothing in my closet.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you. Was that your Halloween costume or?
I was a demure child during that time.
Oh.
Yeah. You see the gray hair? I'm pretty old.
Yeah, he is if he was using it in the 1800s. Okay. Let's see. So please be sure and come to that. By the way, I don't think we said when that was. That is September 28th.
Right. It starts with the 5K run at 8 o'clock in the morning. They start at the courthouse. And then the dedication for the Walton Cemetery is at 10 o'clock. Then we back up to the courthouse. We go to the museum for a dedication of the Walton display that's on at the museum, and then we come back to the courthouse and they start the music. By the way, the archives will be open, and Mr. Calvin Dickinson, who wrote a book on the Walton Road, will be there, and there'll be a display inside the courthouse for that. And we're really excited about that.
He going to sign books and things?
He will have a book signing there, and you can buy one of the books. And this is kind of a historic event. And I had one other thing, but maybe you've got a couple of things.
No, go ahead.
A lot of times we talk about things to do in Smith County, and one of the things that I did is I made a list of places to see and things to do in Smith County, and I came up with basically two full pages.
Oh, boy.
Single-spaced. And not just Granville here where we're at. This is a beautiful place to see, and there's a lot to do on the lake.
Right.
And Cordell Hull Lake is a wonderful lake.
Yes, it is.
Talked with the resource manager here but more than 2 days ago, Mr. Mark Hurd, and we were talking about how people don't realize sometimes what we have right in our midst. He was telling me that about 1.7 visitors hit the Cordell Hull Lake every year. I know that 1.7 million.
Oh, I started to say I think it's a little more than 1.7. And
1.7 million. I forgot some zeros
wow, that
there.
is unreal. And you think about the dollars they spend for our economy.
Well, exactly, and they stop at our stores, and if you're like me, when I go to the mountains up to Pigeon Forge and places up there, and I'm staying in a cabin, we don't take any food with us. We go to that local Walmart, and we get
you buy stuff.
and
That's
then we
exactly
eat
right.
out. Well, people do that in Smith County. They go
That's true.
stop at that local Walmart, or they stop at one of the other stores that we have,
That's
and then
right.
they eat out at our restaurants. They go
That's
down.
exactly right.
So people spend money when they come into Smith County and visit. But we've got historic places on the National Register. Davis, let's see, the Cordell Hull Davis House. Dixona down at Dixon Springs. The Cordell Hull Bridge, which is being repaired and will be open sometime in 2014. The Rome Ferry, which is down there dry docked right now, and they're working on getting that restored and put back in, not into operation, but on display. The courthouse, of course, the Cullum House, Battery Knob, the earthworks down from the hospital, the James Bradley House over in Dixon Springs.
I've been in that.
The Carthage United Methodist Church is a historic building.
Gorgeous.
Dixon Springs
Historic district.
The historic district that we have down there. The Fight Williams Ligon House is down off on Fight Avenue in Carthage. And then Walton Hotel. Of course, I mentioned the lake. Then we're close to Center Hill Lake. We're actually sandwiched between, Cordell Hull Lake is sandwiched between Dale Hollow Lake and Center Hill Lake. So we've got a lot of water recreation that people can look at.
We're just really blessed
Yeah.
with so many wonderful things. By the way, I want to mention again that the Jamie Evans fundraiser is coming up October 12th. The Granville Fall Festival and Quilt Show is October the 5th. Gosh, let's see, what else is coming up? The William Walton Days, September 28th, and the Kids Central Playground was held on the 14th. We've just got, this is a busy time of the year, isn't it?
Oh yeah, in the fall and toward the winter. And let's not forget too, we're going to have Hometown Christmas coming up in December, and that's when the stores are all open.
Here in Granville.
Well, Granville, and also they do one, I think the week before in Smith County as well.
And we'll probably talk more about that in upcoming shows, and that's always wonderful. I love it.
But we hope you've enjoyed this show that we put together. and come to Granville and see what they've got going on. I know they have a lot of celebrations, and that scarecrow walk that Mr. Randall talked about, that sounds interesting. I think you need to come by and see that. So
Yes.
We'll see you next time, and this is Bill Woodard
And Janie Pettigo.
saying bye for now.
Bye-bye.